events. You can find postponements and cancellations on KBRFradio.com and the Fergus Now app. Weather-related announcements brought to you by Ugstead Plumbing and Heating, Northwest Tire, and Fire Towing and Transport.
It's Morning Talk on News Talk 1250 KBRF, brought to you by Pioneer Care and Fergus Falls Monument Company. Now, here's Mary Dolan and Dave Bishop.
There we go. Good Monday morning. It is. I gotta send Derek in to move that microphone. It's a Monday, Mary. It really, really is.
Yeah, I'm staring at a microphone. It's right in the middle. Yeah. So do you have to throw something at his window to get his attention? I can get up and move it too.
I can get him or I get Chuck.
Well, anyway. So as I'm staring through my studio into the main studio where Dave is, there's a microphone right dead center where his head should be, and I can't see him. All I see is another microphone, and that's must be what you see with me too. So
No, it's the camera for you is good. I'm setting
okay,
that mic.
this mic right here, right there. Just move her out of the way. Oh, that's fabulous.
Thanks,
Thank you. Oh my goodness. How
Chuck-
about that?
Chuck, go on camera. Go on camera.
Yeah, can't just come around here for a sec. Come on, do it.
You can be on camera, Chuck.
Yeah, you too can be on camera.
Yeah.
This guy and me have worked together for how many years?
No, cheapers.
Gosh,
Do we want to
40?
Yeah.
Yeah, 40 plus maybe. It's good to have another old timer around here. Thanks, Chuck. You have no idea how many times I call on Chuck and say, "Oh, if you could just do this for me." I always tell him, "If you could just do this for me, I would love you forever." So, yeah, we've been good pals for a long time. So, kind of fun to get Chuck on camera too.
It's funny. I'm shouting through the windows between Z103.
It was kind of funny to
KBRF.
watch you actually.
He's like, "What? What is this?"
I know.
Is
I'm not
Timmy
very
in the well,
good.
Lassie?
I'm not. I'm not very good at reading those, those hand signals either. We do have a few hand signals around here, so that
Some of them we can't show.
yeah, well, most of them are things like "let's take a break" or that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm not very good at lip reading between the studios. That is for sure. That's hard. Never been good at that. Well, anyway, here it is, a Monday. Good to have you along. Hope you had a great weekend. Did you have a good weekend?
I had a fairly decent
beautiful,
weekend.
wasn't it?
I
Oh,
was busy all weekend. One thing I really wanted to get to that I did not get a chance to do, and that was I wanted to get to that Rotary magician at Center for the Arts.
right. I heard great things.
The thing was, I had a child that had a birthday party to go to
Oh well,
during the event, so
I know.
I would have had to drop him off, go to the event for like 20 minutes, and then
run
leave.
back. I know how that goes. Well, anyway, yeah, just had a nice weekend. Got to enjoy some of the great outdoors. Went for a couple long walks on Saturday and Sunday. It just was absolutely beautiful. Yesterday, I didn't even put a hat on, no mittens, and a 60-degree swing from my last walk. And that walk lasted about a block and a half. And then I thought, this is crazy. And I turned around and went home. But yeah, 60-degree swing.
Yeah, you got to watch those sidewalks. I mean,
Mhm.
I'm putting salt on ours constantly just because it just
Yes.
freezes every night.
Yep. And so overnight, Saturday and Sunday. And then, of course, we had a few drops of rain yesterday, late in the afternoon, too. So it is pretty slick out there. I noticed that when I walked from the Y to my car across the parking lot, I had to be very, very careful. I did the old penguin shuffle, or what
Oh.
do you call it?
It was called Penguin Shovel.
Something about a scoot, too.
Oh, the Minnesota Scoot.
Minnesota Scoot.
Yep.
I did the Minnesota Scoot this morning because I don't want to fall, nor does anyone. So, but just that little bit of rain and the temperature right where it is this morning caused things to be
Just
pretty
really icy.
slippery. So be careful. In fact, I thought about, I got actually out in out in the driveway this morning to put the garbage cans out, and I was thinking, oh, I should just walk outside rather than go into the gym. And then when I started sliding around, I thought, nope, I'm going to the gym. Yeah. So anyway, well, here it is, Monday again. I feel like Monday rolls around. I always say Monday through Thursday goes so fast, but so does Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday just flies.
It sure
really does.
Yeah. Well, and every time the weekend flies, it's putting us 3 days closer to summer, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So, and the temps this week look great, so you should be able to enjoy all of this all week long, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's gonna be nice.
Okay, we'll take that. Well, of course, it was another one of those weekends of, I don't think we'll ever be to a place where there isn't news for us to talk about anymore because it's just crazy out there. And so many things going on, and so many of them, of course, involve President Trump and Elon Musk as they continue to cut. And President Donald Trump even shared a SpongeBob SquarePants themed meme after Elon Musk announced that federal workers would receive an email seeking information about what they accomplished last week. Now, the meme features a list titled Got Done Last Week. The 5 items on the list include cried about Trump, cried about Elon, made it into the office for once, read some emails, and cried about Trump and Elon some more. So that's the meme. A little funny, yes, maybe. But anyway, Musk had previously declared in a tweet, consistent with President Trump's instructions, all federal employees will shortly receive an email requesting to understand what they got done last week. Failure to respond will be taken as a resignation. Wow. Okay, what do you think?
I don't think they should do the whole, well, I suppose failure to respond would be, you're not doing your job technically. But yeah.
I don't know. This feels so. To go on with the story, it says a large number of good responses have been received already. There are people who, these are people, Musk said, the ones that responded and said, hey, I did this, and this, feel good about the forward motion on this project or whatever they said. These are people who should be considered for a promotion. That's what Musk said. But some have raised objections to the emails sent to government workers. GOP Senator Lisa Murkowski of Alaska referred to it as absurd. It is a little weird.
Yeah.
And she goes on to say, our public workforce deserves to be treated with dignity and respect for the unheralded jobs that they perform. And I suppose, I mean, a part of me agrees with that.
Yeah.
I mean, it feels a little demeaning.
I would have to say, I think they may have gone into this a little, shall we say, guns a-blazing when they maybe needed to take a step back at some point.
And then I guess the part that gets me is there was footage of Elon Musk waving around
the chainsaw. Yeah,
cutting jobs. And
that was stupid.
And I just think, there is that is demeaning, I think.
It was
like a college prank or a.
I was gonna say it was like a discount President's Day sale. We're slashing all the prices.
Yes,
come on down this one day.
Exactly. And it almost, I think it takes away some of the importance of what they're doing.
Yeah.
I
can't make it into too much of a sideshow.
No, and the sideshow is unappreciated.
Yeah.
And you add that to what's going on in terms of the cuts and tens of thousands of people losing their jobs, and then you make sport of it. Especially coming from the guy who has the most money of anyone in the world, it's just tough to take.
Yeah.
And it's unnecessary. So I think they've gone too far in that regard. Anyway, they went on to say, in fact, Senator Tina Smith of Minnesota weighed in. She said, this is the ultimate boss. She said some stuff I can't even say on the air from Musk, except he isn't even the boss. Anyway, she called him a couple of names. Anyway, Musk mockingly replied to the senator, what did you get done last week? Ooh.
Ouch.
Yeah. So anyway, I kind of feel like some of those things really aren't very necessary.
I mean,
And all it is fuel on the fire. And I guess that's what they are looking for. But I don't know.
Then again, you should be able to list 5 things you did last week.
Well, and I guess if you're asked by the President of the United States whether you're thinking, I mean, we've all had a boss ask us to do something or tell us to do
Yeah.
something. And then we thought, well, what are we doing that for? What a waste of everyone's time.
Oh, many times.
Yeah, but we do it
Yes.
because
They're the boss.
they're the boss and they've asked us to do it.
My dad always had this one phrase. It's the boss isn't always right, but he's always the boss. So you may not like what you're doing. You may not like the way you were asked,
Yep.
but he's still in charge.
Yeah. And I mean, if I were to get an email from the President of the United States, I think I would feel like I ought to comply, especially if I work for the United States
Yeah,
government.
I would be confused. I'd think it'd be, a scam. He'd be hanging out there with the Nigerian president
Right.
if I was to get it. But if I
Yeah.
worked for the federal government, yeah.
Okay, so here's another thing, and I absolutely agree with this one. Elon Musk, who is leading, of course, Doge, warned federal workers on Monday that those who fail to return to the office will be placed on administrative leave. Now, that's a little stronger than saying, gosh, I don't really want to reply to the email and tell you what I did last week. If you don't come to work, that's a different deal.
Yeah, it's the whole work from home thing is
Yep.
COVID's gone. Let's
So
come back in.
he went on to say those who ignored President Trump's executive order to return to work have now received over a month's warning. Starting this week, those who fail to return to the office will be placed on administrative leave.
I forgot what department it was, but one of the secretaries or undersecretaries was walking through one of the government offices, and all the cubicles were empty
Yeah,
because everybody was working from home.
right. Well,
By
the
working,
warning,
I mean quote unquote working.
yeah, quote unquote, that we can use the air quotes there. Musk's warning comes after he announced Saturday that federal employees must report their accomplishments from the last week, as we've already mentioned, or face losing their jobs. Said on Saturday that federal employees would receive that email and would be asked to confirm what they had done this week. And I don't know, if you're trying to save your job, I guess you reply. I mean, it is the U.S. government that you are working for. They are asking for it, and it comes from the highest office in the land. So I guess you answer. Mass confusion followed on the eve of the deadline as some agencies resisted the order. Others encouraged their workers to comply, and still others offered conflicting guidance. So there was a bit of confusion and chaos amongst all these people. But again, he's the boss.
Yep.
Whether you agree or not. Several key U.S. agencies, including the FBI, State Department, Homeland Security, and the Pentagon, which instructed their employees over the weekend not to comply. Department of Health and Human Services, led by now Robert F. Kennedy Jr., instructed its roughly 80,000 employees to comply shortly after acting general counsel had instructed them not to. So there was confusion as to who's in charge, I think, in all these agencies too. And so that also
Yeah, when it
made
comes
these workers think, well, what do we do here? Do we comply? Is this, I don't know.
I would err on the side of keeping my job.
I would too. But there's so much out there saying, well, this is, he's a dictator. We're not going to do this. Well, then that's like if you went to work today and your boss said, I would like you to get A, B, and C done today. And you said, not going to do it.
Yep.
Well, okay. That would not resonate around
No.
here, or I'm guessing in anyone's job or office. But that's basically what they're saying is, hey, we're not going to do it.
Yeah.
So anyway, Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass has removed the fire chief, Chief Kristen Crowley, from her position due to the city's response to all of the deadly wildfires. Mayor Bass cited concerns about public safety and the fire department's operations, emphasizing the need for accountability after over 25 deaths and widespread destruction. So the fire chief loses her job.
I'm
I
not
don't-
surprised.
Yeah, although, and I don't know what's going on within the fire department, but I think there was a lot bigger issues than that,
Yeah.
infrastructure and that sort of thing. They just simply weren't prepared for this.
No, not at all.
Anyway, Ukrainian President Zelensky stated he would resign his position for peace or NATO membership. The announcement was made during a press conference in Kyiv in response to the question from ABC News. Zelensky's remarks followed tensions with President Trump and demands for Ukraine to pay $500 billion to the United States. Now, having said that, President Trump said it out loud, and I think it was just flat out the truth. Hey, we want to get some of this money back that we have been giving you willy-nilly over the
Where
last
is it
4
going?
years. We have no idea where it went, who spent it, who still has it in their pockets
Yep.
and offshore bank accounts. We want some of that dough back. And I couldn't agree.
I don't think they'll get anything back, but I'd like to know where it went.
Yeah, I don't think we'll ever know the answer to that
No.
either, but there's plenty of padded pockets. And, I can understand why Zelensky, I think we have to consider his background.
He was a comedian until
He was a
got elected.
comedian.
Yep.
And now he is just letting, tens of thousands of people lose their lives because this war, they just can't come to any agreement to end it.
Well, I mean, still, the war is Putin's fault.
Well, for sure.
I mean, we got to make sure we say that.
Absolutely. But I think they could be coming to some kind of agreement.
Yeah.
And even while you lose land, maybe you stop losing people.
Yeah.
I don't know. Coming up on 9:30, break for the markets. We're back with more on Morning Talk.
And on the other side of the break, not only are we going to talk to Mary with the American Legion, but we're also going to be giving away a pair of Home and Garden Show tickets.
Oh,
we'll be doing
great.
that here throughout the week.
That's coming up soon.
That is coming up a week from Saturday. So
Okay. Sounds great. We'll be back.
Stay tuned for that.
Tired of working with digital marketing agencies 1,000 miles away who don't get your community? At Leighton Engage, real strategists, real people, right here, with a deep understanding of your community. We create campaigns that truly resonate. We pair you with a dedicated local strategist who knows your market and audience inside and out. Tailored solutions, real results, marketing that works.
Leighton Engage. Find your focus.
Winter weather can change quickly and can be hazardous. Listen to News Talk 1250 KBRF for the latest weather-related postponements and cancellations. Brought to you by Buyer Towing and Transport, Northwest Tire, and Ugsted Plumbing and Heating. Schools, businesses, churches, and events. You can find postponements and cancellations on KBRFradio.com and the Fergus Now app. Weather-related announcements brought to you by Ugsted Plumbing and Heating, Northwest Tire, and Buyer Towing and Transport.
KBRFradio.com is your online home for News Talk 1250 KBRF. You'll find the latest in local and national news, plus sports, and you can podcast or stream live. That's at KBRFradio.com.
Get less weeds and more sugar with Spin-Aid herbicide, now available to Minnesota and North Dakota sugar beet growers for improved control of kochia, common lamb's quarters, and common ragweed. Looking for systemic effective disease control? Add Minerva to your spray program and knock out Cercospora leaf spot. Ask your local retailer about the Spin-Aid $100 a gallon grower rebate or visit BelchimUSA.com. Always read and follow label instructions. Good morning. Market update on the Red River Farm Network. I'm Randy Conan. Grain market still lower here this morning. Wheat market taking it on the chin here. We're down 9-10 cents, 4 to 7 lower in the corn, 2 to 4 lower in the soybeans. Lowen and Associates analyst Matt Hines says traders are watching South American weather and demand.
Kind of just a quiet trade. A little bit of profit taking going on here over the past few sessions, especially in the wheat market. You know, we hit some new recent highs for corn and all three wheat last week. Just kind of been spiraling a little bit lower ever since that. Really not a whole lot of news. You know, a little bit better weather in South America. You know, they're Brazil's soybean harvest moving right along, second crop corn getting in the ground, and did see that conditions in Argentina were improved by a couple points as well last week.
Livestock market's fairly quiet.
We did open higher here this morning. Live cattle, though, just kind of hanging around unchanged. Feeders still holding on to some small gains. We did have lower cash feedlot trade again last week, mostly $1.99 live in the south and $3.15 on a dress basis in the north. Cattle on feed report came out last Friday as well after the close. Call it friendly to neutral report. On feed as of February 1st, 99.3% versus a year ago. That was right in line with pre-report estimates. Placements in January, 1.7% above last year, but that was lower than expectations.
You're listening to the Red River Farm Network. The Northern Pulse Growers Association encourages industry professionals and growers of dry peas, chickpeas, lentils, and fava beans to become members in 2025. Members gain access to cutting-edge research, expert training, market insights, and connection with a Pulse-passionate community. Visit northernpulse.com to join the Northern Pulse Growers Association. That's northernpulse.com. Together, we're sowing the seeds of success.
Unique farming operations need unique financial solutions. Ag Country Farm Credit Services offers customized financing that fits any size farm, ranch, or agribusiness. The next time you're in the market for more land, equipment, facilities, or maybe even an operating loan, contact the team at Ag Country. They know agriculture and will work for you. Ag Country. Focused on ag, focused on you. Ag Country is an equal opportunity lender.
I'm Mark Oppold with an American Agriculture History Minute brought to you by Quick Shot from Helena. Improve yields without changing a single step with Quick Shot, a full nutrient package in one ultimate planter box treatment. Visit helenaagra.com. In the early 1900s, American agriculture continued to expand and diversify. The first 10 years of the century, George Washington Carver, who was director of agricultural research at Tuskegee Institute at the time, pioneered finding new uses for peanuts, sweet potatoes, and soybeans, and thus helped diversify southern agriculture. Additionally, the average annual consumption of commercial fertilizer at that time was over 3.5 million tons. Fast forward to 1810 to 1819, the average annual consumption of commercial fertilizer jumped to over 6 million tons.
March wheat Minneapolis down 10 3/4 cents, 6.21. Chicago March wheat down 8 3/4, 5.81 1/4. March Kansas City wheat down 9 1/2, 5.99 3/4. March corn down 6 cents, 4.85 1/4. New crop December down 3 1/2, 4.71 1/2. March soybeans down 3 1/4, 10.36 1/4. November soybeans down 1.5 pennies, 10.58. March canolas down $5.20 a metric ton. April live cattle 12 cents higher, 194.07. June down 7 cents. March feeder cattle 42 higher, 268.37. April 42 higher. April lean hogs 2 cents higher, 87.70. May lean hogs.
Whether you're doing dishes, tackling laundry duty, or getting those little humans clean. With an electric water heater, you're always saving money. Because electric water heaters are super efficient. And with rebates, bill credits, or low off-peak rates, you save even more. Otter Tail Power Company is here to help. Visit otpco.com/water heating.
The process of selecting a memorial to commemorate a loved one can be challenging. After all, it's not something you do often, and you may not have done it before. I'm Ryan Welly with the Fergus Falls Monument Company. We've been crafting memorials that matter for over 140 years right here locally. We've helped a lot of friends and neighbors over the years. Our extensive inventory accommodates diverse choices while keeping costs manageable, and that matters. Call or visit us online at fergusfallsmonument.com. Memorials that matter.
What's the odds? say?
Today on Hot Talk with the Ox, the triumphant return of the Ox from our nation's capital, if his key still works in the lock. Maybe even hear a leftover guest or two from CPAC last week if we have time. Then it's on to the last week at the legislature before the budget forecast comes out, so expect some quick, dumb bills to be discussed. But it all begins with Heard It on Hot Talk. Test your recall of last week's shows. See you for Hot Talk with the Ox from 2 to 5 on KBRF.
What's the ox say?
KBRF presents Where to Eat, the culinary adventure, sponsored by Dandelion and Burdock and Service Food in Fergus Falls.
Hi, I'm Zach Daniels.
And I'm Dave Bishop, your guides to the region's culinary treasures.
Join us as we explore various restaurants, uncover delicious meals, and highlight each restaurant's signature dish.
Experience diverse cuisine types, unique atmospheres, and must-try dishes. Check it out on KBRFradio.com and the Fergus Now app.
New episodes air every first Friday of the month. Where to Eat, powered by Dandelion and Burdock and Service Food of Fergus Falls.
Did you start someone else's diet and quit? Hi, this is Zola from PlanZDiet.com. Was it the cravings that drove you nuts? The crabbiness? Was the food just plain bad? Or did you figure out that at the rate you were losing, that this was going to cost you a fortune? I don't blame you for quitting. I hear these stories all the time. But I can fix that. For the cravings and the crabbiness, I developed the ZR50 Crave Control Spray. Use it 4 times a day and voila, problem solved. I can fix the bad food problem too. On Plan Z, you're going to eat real food from your grocery store. I provide over 900 recipes to keep you from being bored. Everything from comfort food to gourmet. And they are easy. They take less time than some drive-through lines. And most of those diets where you lose a pound a week actually end up costing you thousands. That's too slow and too expensive. Our average dieter loses 31 pounds in 50 days. Start now and get your body back by summer. Easy payment plans are available. PlanZDiet.com. Conquer the crave.
Community is important, and you'll find it at Pioneer Point. Spacious apartments, thoughtfully designed for older adults, provide the best in senior living. Heated parking and elevator access makes life easy. Your neighbors at Pioneer Point hold a welcoming, family-like approach to living. Choosing from an array of special features and options, you'll find many ways to define your lifestyle at Pioneer Point. Call or schedule your tour online today at pioneercare.org.
Newstalk 1250 KBRF. Listen anytime, any place with the Fergus Now app on your phone. As we have a 9:38, it's time for one of my favorite segments. It's Two Marys and a Dave.
And we say good morning to the other Mary. Good morning.
Morning, guys. How are you today?
Well, we're good. How about you?
I'm well, thanks.
Did you enjoy that beautiful weekend?
Oh, it was gorgeous out.
Oh,
it
my
was
goodness.
Nice today.
Yeah, it's going to be nice all week, so that's great. And that and the fact that you guys are always willing to do some cooking for us, whether we dine in or get it to go. And we always like to hear about all the good things that are cooking out at American Legion. So let's start with the Wednesday special.
The Wednesday special this week is meatloaf and cheesy potatoes with candied carrots, a bun, and some kind of a treat for a dessert.
Oh, yum.
that's
Candied
available.
carrots on top of
kind of a
all
new
that
one.
goodness. Okay, so meatloaf, cheesy potatoes.
Candied carrots, bun, and a treat of some kind.
Oh, boy. Candied carrots. That sounds so good. All those things together, and especially, I think, the cheesy potatoes. It's pretty tough to beat that. So some great food for us on Wednesday. And Mary, you're open every Wednesday through Saturday.
We are Wednesday through Saturday. Carryout begins at 11 and goes until 8 Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, and is available on Saturday from 3 till 8. And our dine-in is open Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday from 3 until 8.
Okay.
So dine-in or carry-out, we can take care of you Wednesday through Saturday.
Okay, that sounds great. I know that, let's see, we've got just a few days left of this month. So what are the dessert features for February?
Well, we have the strawberry pretzel, the triple chocolate cheesecake, red velvet cake, and then I added the cherry almond layer cake because so many people were asking for it. So we have all of those: cherry almond layer cake, red velvet, triple chocolate cheesecake, and the strawberry pretzel dessert.
Wow. It's like you take the best desserts and triple them. It's so good. Triple chocolate, I mean, what could be wrong with that, right?
Well, it's really rich. A couple bites is really enough, but you really should eat the whole piece.
Absolutely. Well, even if you have to do it in small portions.
Right.
You can take some of it home with you for sure. But not only those, but all kinds of other desserts are on the menu, and also all kinds of other features on your menu that people love, including ribs and walleye and so many others.
Lots of burgers, sandwiches, chicken strips, grilled chicken, different salads. Just a nice variety of things, something for everyone.
I totally agree. You guys really have an incredible menu. Whether it's just an appetizer that maybe you choose to make into a dinner or a meal, or so many good things to choose from. And don't forget the dessert. That's the main thing. All right.
No, there's always 10 or 12 to pick from, so there's something for everyone. I'm
oh
quite
my
sure.
goodness, that is for sure. Well, Mary, as always, we need a number to call in case we'd like to get on the list, maybe for a pickup, if we want to take that out, the Wednesday special, or anything for that matter.
Sure, give us a call at 739-4633.
All right, Mary, have a great week. Enjoy this weather.
You as well. Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye. All right, well, boy, that sounds good. Meatloaf, cheesy potatoes, candied carrots.
Oh, yeah.
And some kind of a treat. Yum. That sounds like a good one.
I really love their cheesy potatoes.
So does everyone.
When we do the weather spotter meetings and we have the Legion Cater, we always ask.
And they aren't necessarily always on the menu.
No,
so
they're not. You got to be lucky.
Right. So when they are offered up, you should take advantage of that. You know, when I talk about the nice weather, I thought it was interesting. John came home from, I don't know where he had been, but had stopped at a number of stores. And he said, I just remarked about how friendly everyone was and how
Everybody's in a good
such a
mood.
good mood everyone was. He said even people standing in line seemed happier. And I thought, boy, I never really considered that, but it was noteworthy. And I feel like wherever I went after hearing that, I felt like he was right. People were they're just fired up, and that's what they're talking about. Instead of standing in line at the grocery store talking about the next big storm or something like that, or how cold it is, people were like, oh, what a great day. I'll get out and enjoy this beautiful day and whatever. So, boy, that the weather can certainly change your mood, especially a 60
It really
swing.
can.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so remember the days of MapQuest?
Yep.
Okay, so before we all had navigation on our phones and in our cars.
Yeah, basically before Google Maps.
Yeah, before Google Maps, exactly. And we would actually go and find a route to wherever we were driving, and we would print it.
Yep.
Don't you remember printing MapQuest?
Oh, yeah.
And then you would refer to that printed version in your car just like you would a map when you traveled. Anyway, well, before Google Maps and GPS became popular, drivers printed out their directions from MapQuest. And not only does this mapping service still exist, but it now will let you name a particular body of water. Want to guess which one?
Gulf of Mexico.
Yep. Users can call the Gulf of America, also known as the Gulf of Mexico, whatever they would like. Visit gulfof.mapquest.com to name your own Gulf.
I had to laugh because I saw the most radio thing ever, and it was Home Depot presents the Gulf of America. You know, they had the presenting sponsor.
Goodness. Yes.
And it just reminded me of a lot of things we do here, where you got to get that presenting sponsor in there before you name it.
You do. I know. But I just thought that was really kind of funny. I think it would be fun to go to MapQuest, whatever the address is there, and name it. So gulfof.mapquest.com.
What would you name it?
Oh gosh. Gulf of Favorite Vacations.
Okay.
It's kind of a long
I
term.
wouldn't be very original. It'd be Gulf of Dave.
Oh, Gulf of Dave. Okay. Well, it's just like if I really love something that like a coffee or something that I order a special way, or I've gone to Outstate Coffee and said, oh, can I have this, but I want it like this and like this. And so then I refer to it as the Mary Special.
The Mary Special.
Yeah. So anyway, Gulf of Dave works too.
Gulf of Dave.
Yeah. That is where we love to go. I mean, within the United States to travel, especially this time of year, the Gulf of Mexico, the Gulf is our favorite. I always just call it the Gulf.
Gulf.
Yeah. I don't know.
Go golfing
But
down in the Gulf.
everyone is certainly making fun of the potential change in the name of that. Well, if you are a Phil Collins lover, if you like his music, I always did.
He's okay.
He's okay. He's had some good stuff.
He's had some good stuff
Yeah.
and a lot of no.
Yeah, well, I think a lot of more ballady kinds of things. Anyway, he did a recent interview with Mojo magazine. He revealed that due to his ongoing health issues, that he has completely lost interest in creating new music or returning to the recording studio. So he's 74 years old, believe it or not.
Well, I can see at 74.
Yeah, yeah. You
But
want
not
to
everybody's Keith
throw
Richards.
it in, right? Exactly. Faced multiple physical challenges in recent years, including a spinal injury in 2007, which caused severe nerve damage. In 2017, he had a head injury and says that his ongoing illness has caused him to be reluctant to pursuing new projects. Maybe he ought to just, I don't know, go to the golf course or hang out with his kids and grandkids or, yeah, do something that you do when you're 74 years old instead of keep working and creating music, right?
Yeah.
Okay, you'll love this one. A TikTok user was appalled to find that his Uncrustable sandwich appeared to have a crust.
Lies!
Dave is the one who introduced
I
me
am very much into the Uncrustables.
to the first and only Uncrustable
You still have
ever.
yet to get more?
I still have. Do you know that twice in 2 different stores I've looked for them and not found them?
They're in the freezer section.
I know. And I have looked up and down every single
Tell me
aisle
what
of
store, and I
freezer.
will tell you exactly where they
Okay,
are.
all right. Well, that's what I need.
Look for the frozen breakfast.
Yeah, that's where I was. But evidently, I have to look a little deeper because I've not been able to find them. It's the only reason I haven't had a second one.
Off air, tell me what it is, and
Okay.
I'll tell you where the 2 places in town where you can get them. I'll tell you
Okay,
exactly
well, I
what
looked
aisle.
at service.
They are across from the frozen pizza section.
Okay.
And it's kind of probably 2, or if you're going from the bakery, back
the
towards
back.
Milk, it's probably about a quarter to a third of the way back.
Okay. Are they in a
across-
box? Are
They're
they
in a blue box or purple box
Okay.
for the grape, and the red box for strawberry.
Okay. Well, now I'm going to go. Now I know where to look because I have looked a couple of times and
That's exactly where they're at.
Okay. Well, that's where I'm going to go back to. All right. Well, anyway, Uncrustables typically offer peanut butter and jelly sandwiches without a crust. After all, Uncrustables.
Mm-hmm.
But this user's video showed a bit of brown on the edge. I don't know how to get in contact with the people at Uncrustables, he said in the video. This is why I have crust issues, he said. So far, Smucker's has yet to respond.
And I doubt they will.
I doubt they will, too. Oh, boy.
It's like the idiot that went to a whole bunch of Subways with a ruler trying to find the one that was under. Came with his lawyer
Oh, my
and
goodness.
sued. Because it's not exactly a foot long, it's only 11 inches.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, well, people will do some crazy things. That is for sure. This is a story that was in the news. I actually saw it for the first time last week, and it's disturbing for sure. But there is a Georgia woman who is suing her IVF clinic. They implanted someone else's embryo.
Oh, no.
And she had no idea that anything was amiss until she gave birth to the baby, and the child was quite visibly a different ethnicity.
Oh, wow.
She was white. The baby definitely had some African American in the baby. However, despite the clinic's mistake, she and her husband wanted to keep the baby. The couple had raised him for several months until his biological parents were given custody. So you can imagine how awful
wow.
that was.
Worse.
But here's the other half of that. Clearly, this couple had fertilized eggs
Where do they go?
at the IVF clinic. Where are they, would be my question. Anyway, they are suing Coastal Fertility Specialist, as they should. This was an isolated event with no further patients affected, the clinic said in a statement. We immediately conducted an in-depth review and put additional safeguards in place to further protect patients and to ensure that such an incident does not happen again. But again, where are their frozen embryos?
Yeah, no kidding. Hey, before we go too much further, I do want to make sure we
we have
do have
some stuff
time.
to give away.
Yes, we got
Okay.
stuff to give away. The Fergus Falls Home and Garden Show, sponsored by Fergus Home and Hardware, is happening at the Bigwood Event Center on March 8th and 9th. You don't want to miss out on this opportunity. It's really going to be cool. They're starting to send out the list of items in the swag bag. I'll go through that tomorrow during tomorrow's giveaway. But what we're going to do is I'm going to open up to the text line. Text the word MT to 218-321-1926. That's MT to 321-1926, or just say, hey, I want the tickets.
Yeah.
Just so I can kind of separate the people who are texting normally to the people texting who want the tickets. Again, it's coming up not this weekend, but the following weekend, March 8th and 9th, Bigwood Event Center. It is going to be a blast. Again, text the word MT or I want the tickets. Just let me know you want the tickets to 218-321-1926, 218-321-1926, and I'll pick some winners, and we'll let you know
Send
if
you
you
to
win.
the show.
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good. Well, are you someone who gets a flu shot?
On occasion.
Okay. Well,
I mean, I never rule it out, but I don't like sprint down there every year to get it done.
this is the deadliest flu season, they are saying, in a decade. So what does that say for the flu shot?
It says a lot of people didn't get it.
Maybe. According to the Center for Disease Control and Prevention's recent report, this flu season could be the deadliest in a decade. So far, there have been 29 million cases and 370,000 hospitalizations. That's this winter alone. The vaccine is the best protection they have, they say, although many, as you mentioned, have not received it yet. And also, we know that it's not, the strains of the flu can be different, but that seems like a lot of flu.
And if I remember right, the numbers had dropped about between 5 and 7% of the people who got the flu shot last year versus the flu
Not
shot
surprising.
this year.
Not
Well, I mean, the whole COVID thing just absolutely destroyed everybody's confidence in vaccines.
Absolutely. It
I mean,
sure
if
did.
there was ever one thing that came out of the COVID season, it was people just don't trust vaccines.
Nope.
And it's just ridiculous.
Nope. Yep. And their makers.
Yeah.
After the whole COVID thing and the fact that that company didn't have to stand behind anything that came as a reaction or anything to the COVID vaccine. They're just like, oh, Pfizer, stand back. Anyway, I totally agree with you. I think a lot of people.
A lot of people lost trust.
Lost trust. You ready for some trivia?
Oh, always.
Okay, these are sort of goofy trivia questions, and you'll probably know them anyway. How old was Marilyn Monroe when she passed away?
32?
You're close. 36.
Oh.
How about this one? What was Marilyn Monroe's natural hair color?
She's a brunette.
Red.
Oh, red.
Gotcha. Well,
wow.
Brunette could be perceived as...
No.
Yeah, she was a redhead.
Wow, I did not know that.
Yeah, well, now you know. And there was a cola back in the 80s that you might remember. The name of it was Slice. Do you remember that?
I do.
Yeah, me too. Well, the 80s Slice soda is back. It's an 80s brand that has been sold, and retro fans can now get their hands on 5 flavors: orange, lemon lime, classic cola, ginger ale, and grapefruit spritz. So far, they have been spotted. The only place that we would be able to go get them is Costco, but it's been spotted at Costco. Slice.
I'd do the lemon lime.
I would too.
And orange.
Yeah,
I don't remember the cola one.
I don't either. I always go toward grapefruit stuff. I
Yeah.
love grapefruit flavored any kind of thing.
Then you might like Ting. I have yet to see it in the U.S. It's one of the things I had when I was in...
T-I-N-G, Ting?
Yep, Ting. And they had it in Jamaica, and it was one of those things where I was kind of limited towards, the weight. And so I brought back a bottle of Appleton rum versus bringing back a couple bottles of Ting. Sure enough, go to the liquor store, they've got Appleton rum, and it's cheaper here than it was in Jamaica.
Of course.
So-
And then you hauled it home for nothing.
Yep. So,
All right. Well, anyway, got a good feel-good for you to wrap things up today. A Colorado woman gave a kidney to her prom date from 35 years ago. Elena Hershey and Sean Moyer attended the dance together, then went their separate ways. Since they still have mutual friends, Hershey heard through the grapevine that Moyer needed a kidney. It is just remarkable, a remarkable thing for someone to do, Moyer said, now in his 50s. And if the kidney functions normally, it will last him another 20 years.
Oh, nice.
Prom must have been a great experience. Oh, boy. Coming up on 10 o'clock, that's going to wrap it up on a Monday. Thanks for joining us. Our show today and every day brought to us by Pioneer Care and by Fergus Falls Monument Company. Have a great Monday.